It is an absolute disgrace, and a lot of people are talking about boycotting it, which I'd go with that.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? When else would you want to boycott Liverpool Football Club as a supporter?
That's all it is. It's just a glorified friendly, isn't it?
Getting progressively more disillusioned.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to point on it, and I'm losing my interest in the game.
But it's not wouldn't bother me whether it was created or wasn't created.
Yeah.
It could be a good thing in the long run, it might be a bad thing, I don't know.
There is Anfield right there, and the big news broke yesterday and kind of today of the European Super League. Of course, there was talk about it around 6 months ago, along with Project Big Picture, where there were plans from the big clubs like Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea to scrap competitions like the Community Shield and the Carling Cup. I'm sure that you know, the big owners of these clubs, the Abramoviches, the Glazers, the Henrys, are sat in foreign lands thinking, why are we playing Burton away on a Tuesday night when we could be playing Barca and making millions and millions more? It will eventually damage the integrity of the sport. We love it because anyone can win it. Gone are the days when you'd look forward to the Champions League draws and find out if you were going on a long trip to Kiev or a shorter one to Ajax, let's say. And yeah, soon enough there's just going to be a closed off European pyramid or European competition of around 20 teams, 15 always guaranteed, with another 5 that can qualify. So yeah, the days gone of when you wouldn't know who you'd be playing in Europe. Will we just see the same old teams playing each other year in, year out? I know I'd rather watch Liverpool play a competitive game away to Shrewsbury than I would some weird new competition where there's no promotion and relegation every week against Juventus. I'm going to see if I can talk to some Liverpool fans outside Anfield this morning and yeah, get their thoughts on the situation as well. It is probably the biggest football story to have happened, I don't know, this year, in a long time, this decade. It's planning to reform the sport as we know it. So yeah, let's go and see if we can chat to a few more supporters. And how long have you been a Liverpool supporter for?
Over 50 years.
50 years. And because when Project Big Picture got announced, do you remember that happened about 6 months ago, Project Big Picture, and there were plans to like scrap the League Cup and the Community Shield and competitions like that?
Yeah.
Do you think this is the beginning of the end for these kind of competitions, or?
Well, yes and no. It will be the end in terms of these big clubs. But
yeah.
These clubs who probably going to get left behind, if they went in the experience of winning a trophy at a particular fans,
yeah,
very possibly would enhance their prestige.
Yeah, I know, it's a strange time, and obviously there's going to be like a closed off pyramid of maybe like 20 teams with 15 guaranteed places and 5 that might be able to qualify. Do you think it makes a mockery of like how well Liverpool have done in European competitions over the years with the 6 European Cups, numerous UEFA Cups and that kind of stuff?
Yes, and like a lot of Liverpool fans, you know, being devoted for a number of years.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years, I've been getting progressively more disillusioned. And,
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to point on it, and I'm losing my interest in the game.
Yeah. Do you think it will help smaller clubs then in the long run? If people are disillusioned with the big clubs, do you think that will mean that maybe people like yourself would go and support a Marine at the weekend instead of a Liverpool, or do you think that's a bit too far down the line?
No, because I think that's already in evidence.
Yeah.
It has been for many years.
There's still proper football that's alive, whereas like the big powers that be might be taking the game away from fans.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much. Do you have any just like final thoughts on the matter, or?
No, it's just like the culmination of a disturbing trend, and no surprises there, you know.
Yeah.
You could link it to all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Like when Liverpool didn't have the furlough. I mean,
tried to furlough all the staff, yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that they backed down pretty quickly. But
seems like the big clubs are taking advantage of the situation.
The real point of that, of course, was that they backed down because the ex-players and the community base made them back down.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I wonder what Liverpool's founder, John Holding, would think of the formation of the Super League. Of course, Look, when he was alive, 1833 till 1902, the, you know, football landscape was different. It was for the people. And look at him there, looking up at Anfield, the new main stand up at the Liverpool crest there. I wonder what he would make of all the proposals to, you know, have pretty much a non-competitive Super League. Absolute madness. Let's go and see if we can find some more supporters. A fortress of belief and passion unlike any other. This is our home. James, age 15. That is a quote from a young Liverpool fan. And yeah, does that quote kind of stand up with what the American owners are trying to kind of push through in English football at the moment? Fortress of belief and passion. How much belief and passion would you have if you knew that you were always guaranteed a spot in the European Super League? I don't know how much you'd have compared to, you know, trying to actually earn the right to be there. Anyway, yeah, let's go and find some more supporters. What are your thoughts on the new Super League, like news that got announced yesterday?
What about money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a, it's shocking, isn't it? Because
it is a joke.
do you remember the Project Big Picture stuff that came out 6 months ago or whatever? Do you remember they were trying to scrap League Cup, Community Shield and that kind of stuff? Do you think the American owners just don't value the pyramid system and all?
I don't know. In my honest opinion, it's all about money.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, it was all about money when the Premier League started.
Yeah. There's always been changes in football. It's just, I think it's hard to adapt, but this just seems so different because it takes the competition out of everything.
In my opinion, it does. I mean, how can you justify? It's what, 18 games now midweek or something.
Yeah.
Every other week's gonna be an away game to a foreign country.
Well, again, Project Big Picture was talking about making the Prem smaller as well.
That wasn't that the 39th game?
I think they were talking about 39th game, but also potentially making the Premier League 18 teams instead of 20, getting rid of the League Cup, basically meaning that there's more space for these big European fixtures. But what does it, wouldn't you rather watch Liverpool play Burton in a League Cup match that means something than a friendly match against Barcelona?
I mean, for the likes of them, the likes of Burton and all them, they're the money ties for them, do you know what I mean?
Helps everyone, yeah.
Coming here, Old Trafford,
yeah.
When it's full house. That's, for me, that was the magic of the FA Cup.
And Gary Neville made some pretty strong comments about disowning your club. It's disowning your club level stuff, and there doesn't seem to be any other story that's ever had that as the outcome of fans disowning their club.
It is an absolute disgrace. I mean, I'm in a lot of Liverpool groups on social media and that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talking about boycotting it, which I'd go with that.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? When else would you want to boycott Liverpool Football Club as a supporter?
That's all it is. It's just a glorified friendly, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's friendlies. It's those friendly tournaments from the start of the season. Yeah.
And getting stripped for the 6 Champions Leagues and all that. If that's I'm down with you for that and that.
Yeah.
If that's how it is, because
there's talk about kicking Liverpool and these other 12 clubs or 11 clubs out of Europe.
The thing with that as well, if it's going to jeopardise players' international careers, they're not going to want to be here, and again, I don't blame them.
Would you come and watch a basically friendly match against Juventus on a Tuesday night?
I'm putting my parents to sleep. If it was on the telly, I don't even think I'd watch it.
Nah, I think there'd be such a boycott from fans, it might not ever go ahead.
And I hope there is, to be honest. I genuinely hope there is.
Yeah.
That's the only way. I mean, especially with these, it doesn't surprise me when I've seen a lot of stuff on social media last night and people are complaining about it, but it can't be that much of a surprise when, you know, this is a club who wanted to fail over the staff.
Yeah, I know.
This is a club who, because of the main stand, wanted to put ticket prices up and all that.
Yeah.
So
there was huge. What was it, 77 quid a ticket or something, wasn't it?
It is. It's all about it. And to a point, people were trying to make valid reasons last night where we got left behind at the start of the Premiership by other clubs, and we don't want to be left behind again. But you're not leaving behind. You're just making. To a point, it's a Tory shout. The poor get poorer and the rich get richer.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's going to become a racket. That's all it is.
Line.
Yeah.
And again, like you just said there, Gary Neville, are they planning on getting all this extra money and then going to turn up on a Saturday already on an advantage anyway?
Yeah.
And then just try and walk the lead. I mean,
I know. Yeah. What's the point?
Man City. All right. the oil money and all that, but it's a competition, and like at the same time it does get boring, like the same clubs winning.
Yeah.
I'd rather it get spread around, you know what I mean?
Me too, yeah, it does get boring.
It's a lot more exciting for me, like. I mean, you know, Leicester, at this moment in time, I can't fathom Tottenham, Arsenal, even Liverpool.
What makes Tottenham a bigger club to be guaranteed to be put in it? What apart from the last 15 years when they've been in and out of the Champions League with the likes of Bale, Harry Redknapp, even if that 10 years, they've not won anything though. Yeah.
They've never even won the Champions League, neither of Atletico Madrid.
You look at teams like Everton and Aston Villa and Wolves and all these amazing teams who have done stuff and won.
For me, they are big clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because I support these, I'm not biased.
Yeah, no.
My attitude has always been, when I was growing up, if Liverpool can't win it, I'd rather Everton win it.
And as I'm looking around Anfield now for some more fans to speak to, the news just won't stop breaking about this story. Now, Man United stand down from the ECA, the European Club Association, and Club Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward has stepped down from his UEFA roles. How are Man United going to compete in the Europa League this season, knowing that they've just completely pulled out? Are they going to get kicked out of this? This is absolutely mad. I actually can't believe what's happening at the moment. It feels like the game is being ripped away from fans. I don't know, like, just seeing this news right now, you're getting my first reaction to this. There is talk of Liverpool being stripped of the 6 European Cups that we've won, and yeah, that is just what makes the club so special. Imagine that happening. Imagine forgetting the history of Paisley over there, the first man to win 3 European Cups. There's a Shankly statue there. All the great European nights we've had at Anfield. That's slowly getting pulled away from our fingertips by the looks of things. Oh, tragic news. I actually can't believe this. And look at this quote here from Bob Paisley. "This club has been my life. I'd go out and sweep the street and be proud to do it for Liverpool FC if they asked me to." He is even there in the statue carrying off an injured Emlyn Hughes, and on the back it says player, manager / physio manager. And yeah, it's absolutely mad to think of like what he's just said there about the club sweeping the streets of Liverpool and carrying off an injured player. What he's doing to help the people of the city of Liverpool is just completely against what what's happening at the moment with all this talk of the Super League. What are your thoughts on like the news that broke today and yesterday about the Super League itself?
Well, obviously it's going to have an impact on the players if they're banned from playing for England and playing in the Premier League themselves, so that'll have an impact. So it's whether it even comes about yet. It's only sort of in the very early stages of it being even thought about, isn't it? So,
do you feel let down by the club at all?
To be honest with you, it wouldn't bother me whether it was created or not. I mean, don't forget, the Premier League broke away from the original league in the first place. That's how the Premier League was incepted in the first place, you know.
Do you think the difference is...
we wouldn't have had the Premier League now.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but do you think the difference is that like 15 or 12 clubs or whatever will be guaranteed a place in this European competition, and it will devalue the kind of trophies that Liverpool have won in the past, the 6 European Cups, the UEFA Cups, Super Cups, etc.?
So there'll be no sort of route in progression for other clubs?
I think there's talk of there maybe having 5 clubs from the rest of Europe that might be able to play in it. They'll have a 20-team league or something. 15 will be guaranteed and 5 might be able to qualify.
Isn't that something similar to like Rugby Super League already?
Potentially, yeah, but I guess maybe that sport doesn't quite have the history and the tradition of football, maybe?
No, but there's big bucks involved in all this.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And Gary Neville made comments yesterday about maybe disowning your club, and we've never heard such strong statements as that. Would you ever disown the club for walking away from English football or European football? Especially what it's given the club as well.
No, not me personally, I wouldn't. But like I said, it's whether it even comes about. At the moment, you know, we'll see what happens on that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it wouldn't bother me whether it was created or it wasn't created.
Yeah.
It could be a good thing in the long run. It might be a bad thing. I don't know.
Only time will tell.
But there's going to be consequences of all the teams. See, I heard ages ago that this was mainly a European thing, you know, to negate the impact of the amount of money that the Premier League gets, basically.
Right. Okay.
You know? because that's the biggest league in the world, isn't it?
It's just
Well,
putting more power into the hands of the clubs as opposed to leagues and organisations, I suppose.
Yeah, but like I said, that already happened with the formation of the Premiership, didn't it? Putting more power in those clubs at the top, yeah? Okay, funds are still distributed through the other leagues, like. I think there should still be if they do create the Super League, I think there should be still a mechanism where money goes back to grassroots.
Yeah, and there has been talks about that as well.
Yeah, so, you know,
it might still filter down.
If they get all the I's and T's dotted and sorted out, why not? It might be a good thing.
Then why not? Yeah, fair enough. Good to hear your opinion anyway. Thank you very much. So it may not all be doom and gloom, as you heard from that man just there who I just spoke to. A lot of people are extremely opposed to this, as am I think. I'm a traditionalist. I played Football Manager and FIFA for years, and I love the idea that you know, you can take Yeovil from League 2 to win them the Champions League. Yes, it's not easy and it's probably not likely, but at least it can happen. That's what we love as football fans, you know, relegation, promotion and all that kind of stuff, and maybe that's going to get phased out the game in years to come. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a positive thing, like that guy said. Who knows? Please do leave me your comments below. I want to have a conversation with you guys. I'll get back to as many as I can. Please do drop a comment below on whether you think you know, this is going to be a good thing or a terrible thing for football. Would you boycott your club? Are you a fan of one of the big 6 clubs or one of the bigger European clubs? Will you boycott games and not buy shirts anymore and merchandise and that kind of stuff? Let me know in the comments below. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe if you're new. Go back and watch some other videos. They're a little bit less doom and gloom on those ones. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.